Ben attım diğerini ona göre.
Heavy rain in the Kusadasi district of Aydın Province caused rivers to overflow and swept away vehicles. Heavy rain across Aydın Province negatively impacted daily life and caused river flooding. In the Kusadasi district, a 30-minute downpour caused flooding in the Davutlar and Gazelpamli neighborhoods. Poorly maintained riverbanks flooded streets and alleys. While no casualties were reported due to the flooding, several vehicles were swept away. Flooding also occurred on the Kusadasi Ring Road and the Garage intersection, which are under the responsibility of the Highways Directorate. These roads were closed to traffic, and residents captured images of vehicles being swept away by the floodwaters. Teams are continuing their work in the area. In the Kusadasi district of Aydın, heavy rain that began in the morning quickly intensified and turned into a flood. Water, especially in the Ikisizmelik neighborhood and along the Ring Road, submerged vehicles. Several cars on Süleyman Demirel Boulevard were completely submerged, and drivers abandoned their vehicles and sought shelter. With major roads like Atatürk Boulevard closed, transportation in the district was completely paralyzed. Police teams took extensive security measures in the area to drain the water. The flooding disaster affected not only highways, but also accommodation facilities. Floodwaters descending from the mountains in the Davutlar and Gazelpamli districts of Kusadasi reached luxury businesses in the area. The lobby of a five-star hotel in Gazelpamli was completely unusable due to flooding. Evacuation efforts began at tourist accommodations, while the lower floors of several homes and businesses were flooded. Residents stated that they had not expected such heavy rain and highlighted infrastructure problems. A similar nightmare unfolded in the Datfa district of Muğla. In Datfa, where the Meteorological Directorate of the 4th Regional Office had issued a warning of up to 60 kilograms of rainfall, heavy rain accompanied by a storm turned roads into lakes. Local government teams were put on standby, and drivers struggled to navigate the main roads. However, the most striking scene was on the coast. Tons of mud and debris carried by the current piled up in the world-famous Kumlut Bay in the Iskil neighborhood. The bay, known for its crystal-clear waters, turned murky within minutes. Experts warned that the rainfall system affecting the Aegean coast was likely to continue for the next 24 hours. Residents, especially those living on ground floors and businesses near riverbeds, were urged to take precautions. Highway and local government officials worked tirelessly to clear blocked roads and drain water. Authorities stressed the need to avoid travel unless absolutely necessary and to stay on higher ground to protect themselves from flooding.
Ay gitti arabalar, gitti vallahi.
The flooding in Aydın and Muğla once again highlighted the consequences of climate change and inadequate infrastructure. The swept-away vehicles and flooded hotels in Kusadasi, as well as the muddy sea in Datfa, illustrate the scale of the disaster. While the fact that there were no casualties is a great comfort, damage assessment work in the region will reportedly begin once the rains stop. The heavy rains also paralyzed transportation. Mud and debris flowing from the mountains blocked the Sok-Aydin Highway in the Argavli section, bringing traffic to a standstill. Teams dispatched to the area worked diligently to reopen the road to traffic. Teams from relevant agencies, particularly the municipality, responded promptly to reports received from all districts. These teams worked tirelessly to mitigate the negative impact of the flooding. In the Kusadasi district of Aydin, heavy rains caused rivers to overflow, and vehicles were swept away by floodwaters on the streets.
Koysun kapatsın cebini. Montun cebine koy kapat. Ha?
Thanks to the swift intervention of the Kusadasi Municipality Public Works Directorate, the Emergency Response Team, and field teams from the Parks and Gardens Directorate, main roads and routes were cleared in a short time. As a result, life in the city began to return to normal. However, the heavy flow from riverbeds and stormwater drainage channels, which are under the responsibility of the Aydin Metropolitan Municipality, the State Water Company, and the Highways Directorate, caused damage to infrastructure. Main roads and side streets quickly turned into riverbeds.
Ay gitti arabalar gitti.
Mayor Genel expressed his condolences to the affected business owners and residents, stating natural disasters can be prevented. Necessary measures must be taken before such an incident occurs. He also noted that there are streams in the area that need to be rehabilitated and infrastructure projects that need to be completed, saying, "We're not looking for who to blame. Every institution needs to do its part." Gunel inspected the area along the road and reported that the greatest damage occurred at a tourist facility. Following instructions from Mayor Omer Genel, teams from Kusadasi Municipality immediately responded by deploying heavy equipment to the scene. The coordinated efforts of the Public Works Department's field teams, the Emergency Response Team, and teams from the Parks and Gardens Directorate prevented the potential disaster from worsening. Mayor Genel visited the Güzel Tamli neighborhood, which was hardest hit by the flooding, to inspect the ongoing work. In a meeting with business owners and residents affected by the flooding, Genel stated that the teams would work non-stop and that the situation would be resolved as quickly as possible.